by us convening this meeting, it also demonstrates the belief that we have the power to be able to shape a global fund towards something that would serve best the communities and the constituencies that we're supposed to be serving.
Reaching the furthest behind is always the biggest challenge. And the Global Fund managed to do it mostly because there's a collaboration with the civil society and community. And the collaboration has been developed into the community system.
LGBTIQ activist and an advocate from Bhutan, we want to ensure that gender and sexuality-based violence, discrimination, and other barriers to accessing quality services are addressed so that my peers can access them whenever and however they need them. And we need support in doing so through advocacy, social mobilization, and community-led monitoring. We want the Global Fund to do the same. The Global Fund must prioritize human rights, gender equality, and community empowerment as core components of HIV, TB, and malaria responses. For the new strategy, the Global Fund must commit to prioritize community rights and gender, or CRG, and community systems strengthening.
COP-TB has engaged with the Global Fund grant in Indonesia, which have made incredible achievement to address TB in the country. However, because of COVID-19, I saw how off track our country has been in eliminating TB and the many weaknesses in our health system. This rings true for HIV and malaria as well. The Global Fund needs to continue to fulfill its mandates on HIV, TB, and malaria. It must champion and promote a model of community-centered and multilateral-driven funding and continue to lead the world in ending the three diseases as epidemic.
Despite our collective efforts over the decades, COVID-19 has proved that vulnerable and marginalized communities continue to be left behind, ignored, and even persecuted in health emergencies. The Global Fund must continue safeguarding our collective efforts against three diseases, protect and promote human rights of vulnerable and key populations, and strengthen the system that supports the poorest and most marginalized. Communities, their rights and genders equality needs to be the cornerstone of emergency health and pandemic preparedness and response.
As a trans activist in Sri Lanka, me and my community continue to face struggles in fighting against human rights violations and for inclusion in the national health programs, particularly those that cater to our specific needs as transgender community. The Global Fund has enabled us to participate in national health processes where we can fight for our rights to inclusion and equity. We want a fully resourced Global Fund to continue and accelerate its fight against AIDS, tuberculosis, and malaria, and a fully resourced Global Fund to address human rights violations faced by key and vulnerable populations, to achieve gender equality, and to facilitate universal health coverage for all.
Papua New Guinea is considered a lower middle-income country. We have a fragile health system and 40% of our population lives in poverty. Without the Global Fund investing in countries like ours, it will be difficult for us to achieve our SDG targets, particularly around health. We need the Global Fund to remain truly global and strengthen its efforts and process to ensure responsible, long-term, and sustainable exit strategies. These very same countries also need to have enabling environments and protect the rights of key populations and vulnerable communities, regardless of whatever they come from, so that we do not leave anyone behind.
We still want the Global Fund.
We still have wants from the Global Fund.
We trust that the Global Fund
We listen to our voices
and reflect our position and interest in an ambitious post-2022 strategy.
The Global Fund that we still want.